And especially because we're going to the island.
Let's do it. I want to take you somewhere really that's going to knock your socks off.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about one of the most dramatic couples from the 90-day universe, Jasmine and Gino. Their relationship has been full of ups and downs, from big fights to a surprise wedding. Now it looks like Jasmine has finally had enough. After years of being unhappy, she's ready to end her marriage and go back to Panama. Why is she making this decision now? Stick around as we delve into their crazy journey and see if this is really the end for Jasmine and Gino. Jasmine and Gino have been beloved figures in the 90-day universe since they first appeared in Season 5 of Before the 90 Days. To say their relationship has been tumultuous would be putting it lightly. Their now iconic antics have solidified them as the 90-day couple that fans can't get enough of. TLC's casting director couldn't resist bringing back this controversial duo for the latest season of 90-Day Happily Ever After. To recap their journey, Gino felt incredibly fortunate when Jasmine, a stunning model from Panama, expressed interest in him. The Michigan native, who had just hit his 50s, was eager to build a life together with her. However, before they could envision a future with kids and a white picket fence, Gino traveled to Panama armed with an electric toothbrush as a gift, hoping to see if their chemistry translated in person. Let's just say things didn't quite go as planned. That initial spark quickly escalated into a full-blown fireball. The man who has a fear of taking off his hat soon discovered that Jasmine's temper is truly a force to be reckoned with. The Panamanian can go from calm to volcanic in the blink of an eye, and when she blows up, it's definitely time to take cover. Jasmine is a woman who knows exactly what she wants and refuses to settle for anything less. While Gino likely found this determination charming at first, it quickly became exhausting. With all the constant fighting, this couple has experienced more twists and turns than a wild roller coaster ride. After countless arguments, some inappropriate messages sent to an ex, a few cosmetic enhancements, endless cheating allegations, a $270 engagement ring, and the unforgettable moment when a toothbrush was hurled out the front door, Jasmine took the plunge and proposed. Surprisingly, they actually made it to the altar, landing a spot among the top 10 jaw-dropping moments in the 90-day franchise.
I deserve to pick up the goddamn colors because in a few days I have cured more than she did in 7 years.
Fast forward to the latest season of Happily Ever After, where we find them guess what's still squabbling about finances. This time, however, fans felt Jasmine had a solid point. Gino had committed to bringing her children to the US but needed more time. They had been married for a short while when filming resumed, yet the kids were still back in Panama. Why? Gino had quit his job at the season's start and was relying on savings and retirement funds to support both himself and Jasmine. Unfortunately, he just couldn't muster the $55,000 needed to bring the kids over. Jasmine was struggling to adapt to her new life alongside Gino, and fans speculated that it might be because she simply doesn't like him. Others pointed out that uprooting your life to a different country, leaving behind friends and family, is no small feat. Then there's the fact that her incredibly close friend, who also happens to be her ex, is part of the picture. At this point, Gino and Jasmine might as well rebrand themselves, since DNE seems to have secured his spot in their dynamic. Jasmine has essentially confessed to having cheated on Gino with Dane at least once, which she's backed up by telling Gino that he's the best partner she's ever had. Talk about mixed signals. If you thought the Dane saga wrapped up after one dramatic fight and an apology letter, think again. Dane has been making cameo appearances on the show ever since, and everyone assumed Jasmine was just bringing him up to get under Gino's skin. However, it turns out that's only part of the story. Apparently, Dane is still financing Jasmine's extravagant lifestyle, and she doesn't seem to have any qualms about it. In the latest twist, Gino was taken aback when Jasmine proudly announced that she had treated herself to a brand new set of butt implants. Surprisingly, Gino didn't seem to mind the results at all. One of the major gripes he had was that Dane was playing the role of the gallant knight, stepping in to cover the costs for the new enhancements. Gino chipped in too, but not out of a desire to share expenses with his then fiancé. In reality, he had sent Jasmine funds to purchase her wedding dress instead.
I'm not so your ex of me that I trust on you.
What? Say what now?
What you gonna do? Because I'm gonna sue you.
What nudes?
The nudes you sent to her.
Those weren't nudes.
I'm showing on my.
Yeah, your breasts are showing. That's correct, but they're not nudes.
Jasmine's rationale was simple: why not? After all, Gino was the one who opted to leave his job right after tying the knot. If he can't foot the bill for her surgeries but Dane can, what's the issue? And if you believe the wildest aspect of their relationship was the infidelity, the deception, or the extravagant spending on cosmetic enhancements, think again. The real shocker came in June 2023 when they actually exchanged vows at the altar. Fast forward nearly a year, and the couple isn't exactly reveling in wedded bliss. Their highs are few and far between, but who's keeping score? Well, apparently Jasmine is, or at least she was. For the first time, Jasmine is confronting reality and grappling with some doubts. What triggered this epiphany? The Panamanian model recently received their wedding photos, and as she sifted through them, she realized she was far from content in her marriage. Let's hope Gino skips this episode. The only thing that makes him that excited is American football, and it's very hard to compete against that. Jasmine became emotional as the photographer encouraged her to pick out her favorite photos. The truth was, while she liked all of them, she despised how they made her feel. She recalled the immense hope she had for a fresh start on her wedding day, yet now she feels like nothing is changing in her relationship with Gino. Yes, she confessed to missing her kids and family back home, maybe even Dane, but honestly, this was the first time we saw Jasmine express genuine feelings on screen. Often cast as the villain in the show, known for her shouting matches with Gino and her secretive conversations with Dane, this time was different. She confessed to the photographer, who looked genuinely worried for her, that she might have rushed into marrying Gino. And then came the bombshell. She said it was over. Yes, she used that word. She was ready to pack her bags, sign the divorce papers, and end her marriage for good. But it's not exactly a walk in the park. Everyone was well aware that Gino was stepping into a difficult situation when he agreed to spend his life with Jasmine. His friends and family all rallied together, warning him that she was looking for a vastly different lifestyle in the States, one that Gino simply couldn't provide. Or he could have, if he hadn't made the baffling decision to quit his job right after getting married. Honestly, no one seems to understand why Gino thought retirement was the best choice at that moment. Jasmine, for her part, acknowledged that marriage is a complicated journey, and ending things with someone you once cared for isn't a stroll in the park either. The main force driving her to leave Gino and return home is her deep yearning to be with her two boys. Now, let's not forget Gino's perspective. When Jasmine suggested hiring an immigration lawyer for her sons to start the process, Gino looked at her as if she were speaking a foreign language. He claimed this was the first time she'd mentioned it. Fans were skeptical about that one, but Gino is ready to review every moment from the entire 90-day saga to prove he never committed to bringing her kids along. Jasmine can't apply for a work permit just yet, and truthfully, she isn't eager to jump into work either. When Jasmine shared her concerns with Gino, he brushed it off, thinking she was just being her usual dramatic self. But it seems like the reality of her feelings and her threats to return to Panama are finally hitting home for him. Jasmine took things a step further by putting their plans for starting a family on ice and telling Gino he wasn't exactly cut out for fatherhood. Ouch. Now Gino finds himself scrambling to make amends and persuade Jasmine to stay in the US. Jasmine had hoped Gino would create the kind of life she always dreamed of. It's hard to fault her for that since he said he would. So is this a genuine crisis in their relationship or just another one of their usual squabbles? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments.
That's my